I found something via Stanley Kurtz at National Review, who's been doing some great work for the past 8 years trying to alert people to what the Barack Obama agenda actually is and what it means for specific people, such as people who live in suburbia. He has been doing yeoman's work trying to inform the reader base at National Review of the real dangers and pitfalls posed by this cabal of Chicago Alinsky-ites that has really taken over the Democrat Party. And his recent article has unearthed a quote from this Robert Kramer guy. Kramer is the guy that James O'Keefe videotaped a secret video, Project Veritas. He's the guy that is an Alinskyite. His roots go back to Obama's community organizing days. He's the husband of Jan Schakowsky, the Democrat congresswoman from Illinois. He's the guy that, it has been learned, visited the White House 340-some-odd times, and 42 of those visits were with Obama. And he's the guy we found out via O'Keefe's videos that was arranging and orchestrating, buying and paying for the hiring of homeless people and other activists to go disrupt Donald Trump rallies. He's the guy. And then there was another guy named Scott Fovel who was working for him. They both supposedly have been fired. But Robert Kramer's not going to be fired from anything in the Democrat Party. He's going to be moved laterally or promoted or what have you. He's not going to be fired. These are the people who essentially hire and pay for agitators and protesters to make it look like average, normal, everyday people are appalled by Republicans. So the Democrats hire, in many cases, homeless people or immigrants, people that really don't even know what's going on. They give them provocative T-shirts to wear and tell them provocative things to say, and they send them, say, for example, to a Trump rally. And they are to cause trouble. They are to cause violence. They are to instigate violence, making it look like Trump supporters are a bunch of lawless rubes beating up people they don't like.
This is going to be a situation that Trump has to deal with. He may not be able to have any more of these super love-in rallies he's been having.
He has a responsibility, as Dina said, to encourage his supporters to act in a civilized way.
See what we're watching here? We're watching a small scuffle of a young woman who's just pulled a protester sign from her, ripped it up in front of her. The protester's giving her the finger.
These people have been doing this for as long as I've been doing this program. That's why there's a term for this, rent-a-mob. We find it that George Soros, we don't find out, we confirm George Soros pays for all of this via his donations and his various PACs. But the point of it is, it's all fake. It's all an illusion. It is made to look, and the media plays right along. It's made to look like your average ordinary American is appalled by your average ordinary Republican or conservative. And it's made to look like the average ordinary American is so disgusted that they just can't handle it, and they show up and they protest because the Republicans are just unacceptable. And none of it is real. It's all bought and paid for. It's all orchestrated. It's scripted. It is strategized and planned. The media plays along by making it look like it's organic and spontaneous when it's nothing more than a script that is being followed by activists. And in many cases, they're not even really activists. They're just people plucked off the park bench or the street in whatever city the activity is planned. They are paid, in some cases, $1,500, in other cases, $50, to just go out and raise hell and start fights and engage in violence. And the media's role is to tell the story that the Republicans at the rally caused it. Well, in Stanley Kurtz's column at National Review Online, he had this quote from Kramer in 2007, Robert Kramer, who published Stand Up Straight, How Progressives Can Win. It's a tactical handbook for the left that he wrote while in prison. The guy is a convicted felon, and he is at the top of the food chain of the Democrat Party planning all of these so-called organic protests. Robert Kramer, the husband of Democrat Congresswoman Jan Schakowsky, the guy, 42 personal face-to-face visits with Obama in the Oval Office, while in jail in 2007, while in prison, writes a tactical handbook for the left. called Stand Up Straight, How Progressives Can Win. By the way, he's in jail for tax evasion and bank fraud. From pages 74, 75, and 76 of the handbook is Cramer's advice on how to handle conservatives. And the reason I'm choosing this is because it is exactly what I've told you one of their techniques is, and they're using it at this very moment. In general, writes Mr. Cramer, our strategic goal with people who have become conservative activists is not to convert them. That isn't going to happen. It is to demoralize them, to deactivate them. We need to deflate their enthusiasm, to make them lose their ardor, and above all, their self-confidence. A way to demoralize conservative activists is to surround them with the echo chamber of our positions and assumptions. We need to make them feel that they are not mainstream, to make them feel isolated. We must isolate Republicans and conservatives ideologically and use the progressive echo chamber, meaning the media and the blogs and whatever. By defeating them and isolating them ideologically, we demoralize conservative activists directly. Then they begin to quarrel among themselves or blame each other for defeat in isolation, and that demoralizes them even further. My instincts never fail me. This is exactly what I've known this is all about. It's all about deflating you, demoralizing you, depressing you, suppressing you. And it's created the infighting. Look, we can't unify around anything on our side, not even the concept of beating them. We've got factions at war with each other. We've got conservatives saying vicious things about other conservatives that they never even say about Democrats. We have conservatives in the media. We have conservatives in politics, conservatives in elective office who sometimes say more caustic, critical things of fellow conservatives than they ever say about Democrats. And this guy Cramer says that this is what we hope to achieve. So how does this manifest itself? Okay, so they hire a bunch of people to go protest a Trump rally in Chicago. They go and they get in. They start fisticuffs. Media shows up. What? Indiana. The Indiana Religious Freedom Law. They make it look like the entire country is outraged at whatever it is Republicans are doing. Religious freedom law, simple laws saying that your constitutional right to believe in whatever religion you want cannot be abridged. Well, the left must make you change your religious belief if they're going to force various culture things on you. So they go into Indiana. After that law is passed, a majority of people vote for it. It's legitimately democratically passed. The left can't put up with it, so they flood the zone with people that are made to look like normal, average, everyday Americans appalled at what Republicans are doing. It's 5 or 10 people, 15 or 20, amplified by the media, and it's made to look like the whole country's appalled, the whole country's outraged. You end up feeling, my God, I'm losing my country. Oh, my God, I'm in such a minority of people. When did this happen? When did the left overtake us? And they haven't. It's all by design to dispirit you, demoralize you, and now it is confirmed from this clown Cramer that you isolate the target, you chop the head off, you keep chopping whatever it takes. It's psychological operations, psyops, warfare, whatever you want to call it. It's exactly what it is, because they know they're in the minority. At a Trump rally, you've got 10,000 people who want to be there and another 5,000 that can't get in. You've got 15 or 20 paid reprobates inside. And at the end of the event, the media tells us that the 15 to 20 represent the country and the 10,000 inside are the minority, the screwballs, the oddballs, and we've got to get rid of them. And people believe what they see in the media.
This will be his undoing if he is not able to get it under control.
I think this is going downhill because I think once people watch this on TV like this, the calmer, scarier people will not show up.
Pessimism and negativity are easy. It doesn't take any work to be pessimistic. It doesn't take any work to fail. And this has been going on for I don't know how long, but intensely since Obama hit the United States Senate. Before Obama even began to run for the presidency is when all this began to happen. So the point of all this is you now know full well that all of this so-called opposition to Trump during the campaign, it was fake. It was contrived. It was made. It was designed to create these circumstances that we have today. And what are those? Trump is dangerous. Trump is insane. And the people that support him are too. Whereas the vast majority of American people are all in for Hillary Clinton and all in for the Democrat. It's not the case. They succeed in turning us against each other on the right. They succeed in depressing and dispiriting people. They succeed in taking themselves, who I believe are still a minority of thought, and bodies in this country and converting themselves into what appears to be a massive majority where we all think we're losing the country. I'm not losing it. We've lost it. One day, 80% of people oppose gay marriage, and the next week, 80% support it. When did that happen? How did that happen? Well, it didn't. It was made to look like it happened, and the people who had been rendered pessimistic and fatalistic caved. They stopped opposing it because they didn't think they had the numbers. We're being steamrolled on all this stuff. And good old Mr. Kramer here has, as they always do, if you can find it, they'll spell out exactly what they're doing. Therefore, when they start bellyaching about things, they generally are bellyaching about the things they are doing. When they start accusing us of stuff, it's almost without fail that you can make book on the fact that they are engaging in those very actions or activities. I think this is a huge point, folks, that all of this that comprises liberalism, progressivism, the left, it's all psychological operations. It's all illegitimate. Well, they've got their supporters, don't misunderstand. They've got plenty of people that buy into this stuff, too. But their technique here for quelling opposition, I wonder how many elected Republicans think that they're so outnumbered it's senseless to fight back, that they'll never win another election if they fight back because they're going to be angering people, say moderates and independents, that they need to win their next election. But they don't because they've assumed the Democrats have already hoovered all those people up. You know, pessimism and defeatism and fatalism are deadly things. And this is exactly what these people have tried to do. They could not pull any of this off without the willing accomplices in the media. But again, you must realize that we don't have a media. We call it the media, but that's not what they do. It is not who they are.